Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. What's going on, everybody? Good morning and a happy Wednesday to you all as we are making the turn on this work week of ours. A big thanks for making us a part of your start. If you're up and at it here this morning, whether you're listening on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, available to stream up online at sportstalk1051.com. Got your smart devices, like your Alexa devices or the Wisco Sports app. And, of course, the video stream up and rolling here this morning, YouTube and Facebook. But a very happy Friday, everybody. What do we have on our game plan for us this morning? Brewers last night falling to the New York Mets in extra innings 3-2. Brewers tied it up in the ninth thanks to a Yelly game-tying double. But the Brewers falling in the next inning, in the bottom of the 10th inning, 3-2 to drop this game one. Lots to kind of digest with this game, and I'm curious to get your takes on a lot of this stuff. So obviously, you got the loss there, but what happens? I mean, there's a couple things to kind of really dive into this game. Pat Murphy pulled Cooper Pratt after Cooper Pratt hit kind of a bloop single, but pulling him immediately after that for David Hamilton for maybe not hustling and turning that into kind of a double. And then we saw what happened at the end. If you were following online or listening, David Hamilton throwing wide at home plate and allowing the Mets to walk it off. So did Murphy make it's easy to go hindsight 2020 in this whole thing, right? It's easy to go with that. But I ask you, the listener, to try to ignore the ending of that game. And would you do the same thing that Pat Murphy did with Cooper Pratt last night? Do you do the same thing? And again, try to ignore the ending of that game because that's definitely going to influence your decision, right? I mean, it's hard not to. You go on social media and everybody's critiquing the move by Pat Murphy after the game. Do you still, or maybe you're the mindset of, I trust Pat Murphy. All right, whatever he does, I trust him. So you got that, and then another issue from last night's game, 2 for 14. What does that number mean? What does 2 for 14 mean? That's your numbers for runners in scoring position last night. In fact, in their last 2 games, 4 for 26. It feels like this has been an issue for this ball club. If it feels like it's been an issue for this ball club for the last few years, I think you'd be right because I feel it's a tradition unlike any other. We get to a point where we are talking about this maybe a couple times every season. And here we are again. Talking about the same situation. So, lots to digest with this game from last night. Game 2, we got Dustin May on the mound. Looking at, if you look at Kyle Harrison and his performance from last night, he went 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, giving up that solo shots, and then 5 Ks. 5 Ks. So we'll talk about last night's game and preview Game 2 for tonight. We got Packers chat coming your way here this morning, too, as the Packers will wrap up training camp, essentially wrapping up training camp today final public practice. It is a joint practice with the Arizona Cardinals, getting ahead for their game Friday against the Cardinals to wrap up the preseason. So we'll discuss that. I know there's some, I'm going to call them Twitter rumors, online rumors, Twitter rumors, about like Joey Porter Jr. or Josh Sweat, who was with the Cardinals and was just activated off the pup. Not to be a Debbie Downer on the whole thing, but I ain't holding my breath on either one of those. But yeah, we'll go through that too, and you know, maybe kind of squash some of that stuff. But plenty of Packers chat coming your way. I saw this, and this isn't gonna probably make a whole lot of Packers fans happy, but I made sure to save this from yesterday. But this was according to, this has been a complaint, I think, from Packers fans for a while now. But ticket prices for Green Bay, yeah, they're going up, right? I mean, the face value of everything, it's been up there. But now when you talk about the average going rate for some of them, even on the secondary market, you're talking top five. Like top five. It is expensive to go to a Packers game. So, I mean, I'm kind of curious to hear from a lot of you that maybe used to go to a lot of Packers games or would like to go to Packers games. Is it just priced out now? This is from TickPick. Okay, TickPick. The most expensive team by average ticket price for the 2026 season. Okay? It's not necessarily just face value here, but Packers coming in at number 4. Behind the Bills. The Bills are at 610, a whopping 610. Next is the Eagles at 473. Bears, 472. And then the Packers coming in at 454. Wow. I mean, is it still like with it being 2026 and, you know, the advancements in technology and man caves and stuff like that, is it still like a must go for you, or does it kind of take away the experience? Is it maybe just a one-time sort of thing for you? When you hear that, I mean, is it being priced out too much for fans? Kind of is for me at this point. But so we'll talk some Packers here. We got Ty from Slab Factory joining us at 8 o'clock for a little Inside the Hobby segment. It is Wednesday, so it's What If Wednesday. All right, What If Wednesday. So give me a good what if scenario. You guys have been doing a fantastic job with some fun what if scenarios, so send those puppies on over. All right, you can hit us up on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, 715-830-1912. Also, what are we doing here? Maybe a good couple options there if you disagree with Pat Murphy's decision, or even just those ticket price things that I was just mentioning there. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What's a sports story, news story that is maybe out there, it's appropriate, that you would say, man, what are we doing here? So lots to get to. Let's jump right into it. All right, the leadoff coming up. Brewers falling to the Mets last night. Runners in scoring position, another issue for the Pack. And then the whole Pat Murphy benching Cooper Pratt. We'll tell you what Pat Murphy had to say about the move and whether you maybe agree or disagree with it. Let's take our first break, and then the leadoff coming up in just a couple minutes. When you're looking for your next vehicle, make sure you're choosing a dealership that knows and cares about the community it serves. Toyson Ford in Chippewa Falls is proud to be locally owned and operated, providing hometown service and a better buying experience for drivers throughout the Chippewa Valley. Whether you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, or trusted service for the vehicle that you already own, the team at Toyson Ford is there to help you out. Experience the difference of shopping local. Toyson Ford in Chippewa Falls, your hometown Ford dealer. All right, so last night, Brewers falling to the Mets in extra innings, 3-2. Christian Yelich tied it up in the ninth with a with an RBI double, had runners on third and second. Brewers potentially, with like nobody out, and Lara strikes out, Garrett Mitchell strikes out, and then David Hamilton flies out a great play by Francisco Lindor to make that catch, to go to the bottom of the ninth, and then the Brewers, Mets go to the extra frame. You start off with Hamilton on second. You'd think you'd be able to move him with nobody out, but not the case. And then Brewers falling in the bottom 10th with a bases loaded situation, 1 out, and a wide throw from Hamilton to home plate. Why was Hamilton in the game? Because he came in for Cooper Pratt after Cooper Pratt got benched. The play, there was a little bit of a jam shot pop-up between first base, right field. You had 3 guys back there, and Cooper Pratt got a single, but then he was immediately pulled from the game for David Hamilton. And ended up he was benched for what was perceived as maybe not hustling and potentially turning that into a double. Maybe it was a little bit more than that. Here's what Pat Murphy had to say after the game. This is from our friend Hunter Baumgart. Quote, "He's a young player, and we asked him to get a bunt down, and he pulled back on a strike. First one was a good attempt. Second one, he pulled back on a strike right down the middle. The next at-bat, he popped the ball up to right field and didn't run, and the ball landed and stopped. He would have easily got to second base. What could have happened after that, I'm not sure, but you can't have a guy not understanding that. And I felt like after the first at-bat, when he didn't attempt at a bunt with the ball right down the middle, and the second at-bat, the pop-up that landed fair and he wasn't at second, it was time to let him know that. And it's not laziness. I know who this kid is. He's a great kid. It's not laziness. But you got to have your head in the game, because these games like today come down to Lindor's great catch or an errant throw. You've got to be locked in if you're going to play at this level. So hopefully a good learning lesson. I love the kid, and I believe in this kid immensely. He's got to be a player that does those things. He's not going to hit 30 home runs at this point in his career. He's a great defender and a really capable offensive player. We can't have that. It's just not tolerated by anybody, and it sends a message to everybody else too. You better run. Cooper Pratt also chatted in the locker room yesterday, in the clubhouse, after the game, and obviously was asked about it and his thoughts going forward. I'm trying to bring up the audio, but it's not going to work. But essentially what Cooper Pratt said is that he ain't going to do it again. Here we go. All right, this is the audio courtesy from Adam McCulvey from Brewers.com.
Cooper, what message do you take from that moment tonight?
I got to be better. Stuff that can't happen. It's not winning baseball. Didn't help the team win. And it won't happen again, that's for sure. From the not getting the bunt down to not running hard to first and turning it into a double. It won't happen again. I can promise you that. It's not winning baseball. And, yeah.
What did happen on the single?
I don't have an excuse for it. I just should have ran hard, and I wasn't. I don't have an excuse for it. It's inexcusable.
As you came off, it looks like you were kind of trying to process it, figure it out. When you got to the dugout, what did the guys say?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't have an excuse for, maybe it would have been fair, maybe it would have. There is no excuse. I should have ran hard, no matter even if it is foul, fair, if it's an out. I should have been busting my balls to get to second base. And some of the guys pulled me aside and just let me know, like, hey, this is how we do it here. And I know that, and I just, that it won't happen again. And they let me know. And they made sure to let me know that, it's a learning experience. But yeah,
what does it mean to be a part of a team that has standards like this that, will kind of let you know in this way?
Yeah, I know. I mean, our goal is to win, and my job is to help the team win. And I didn't do that today. And, I mean, they hold you accountable, which is good. I need that. And it will never happen again.
What's the key to turning the page for tomorrow?
I mean, the game's over. It's a new day. Tomorrow, just like if you get 3 hits the day before, it's a new day tomorrow. Go in, practice, and best believe I'll be running as hard as I can.
Did Pat make that clear to you? Like, hey, it happened, it's over, tomorrow's a new day for us, and nothing lingering?
I mean, it's known. There's a certain way we play here, and I maybe knew, but it doesn't matter. It's the way we're taught through the organization, from rookie ball to the big leagues, and I didn't do that, and I will do that. No excuses.
All right, again, that's Cooper Pratt after the game last night, after his benching, and not to try to dissect the tone of his language or become the whole body language expert here, but you can tell he's remorseful. Taking the high road here, whether you agree or not. I mean, I know you look at the video, it wasn't like he was walking or anything like that, but so whether you agree with the sentiment, whether he hustled or not, I know some people say, well, it looked like he did, but you could tell he's taking the high road here and saying, I got to be better, being the team player and all that, but and I know there's others saying, well, Contreras doesn't always kind of run out of the box, and maybe that's the difference between a younger player and an established player like Contreras. I think this is Pat Murphy, using his college background, being a long-time college manager, with these younger players. I did something similar with Sal Frelick last year, that base running blunder. He benched him the next day. We'll see what the lineup looks like today with Cooper Pratt, or tonight with Cooper Pratt in it. But, you could tell, like, there was, like, a shot, too, when he came back to the dugout. Like, Joey Ortiz was talking to him and kind of directed him to go sit by Jake Bauers. So I don't know if Jake Bauers was kind of chatting with him and kind of, talking to the rookie in that. But, they obviously know more what was going on, what was, the behind-the-scenes part of it, the bunt thing, right? I mean, that wasn't kind of well-known, like the instruction to go do this. And so, I mean, I think it was a combination of everything at that point. And, Murphy using it as a coaching, a teaching experience, not only for Pratt, but perhaps for the rest of the ball club. And I know it's easy to hindsight 2020. Well, look, it cost them the game last night. With Hamilton in there, the throwing error, maybe Joey Ortiz doesn't make that throwing error if he's playing third base. Who knows? We all probably have our good ideas or good thoughts of what actually would have happened here. But I think, we look back at this and we look at this play. I still, as a Brewers fan, I trust Pat Murphy. All right, I trust Pat Murphy more times than not. It is easy. We get caught in the sports world, whether it's basketball, football, baseball. We're all armchair quarterbacks, right? I mean, this is what we do every single day as sports fans, and on radio and TV, et cetera. We're all armchair quarterbacks. We're all kind of second guessing, Monday morning quarterbacking this thing. So everybody's going to have different thoughts, different opinions, different feelings towards this thing. But in mine, I kind of I trust Pat Murphy. I mean, more times than not, the guy has pushed the right buttons. He's managed this team way past expectations to, won a bunch of games. Has it been every decision? Has it worked? Heck no. And that's the same for every coach. That's the same for every manager. That's the same for every leader. Not every decision is going to work out. Not every coach is going to be 100% correct. But more times than not, I'm going to default to Pat Murphy in this case because, I mean, I look at the track record and I look at what he's done as a manager for nearly 3 years now, and all he's done is won a bunch of games. And maybe this is just something, too, that, again, not just for Cooper Pratt, but a little bit of a message for the rest of the clubhouse here, too. Rest of the team. Now, if I'm the players, not just Cooper Pratt, but if I'm this team, if I'm the rest of the players here, message received. The standard is excellence. The standard is high. You want to go win a World Series. You want to get to a World Series. You want to win a World Series. You want to get through this incredibly tough National League. Little plays are going to make the difference. We know the weaknesses of this Brewers team. We know the things that could potentially hold back the Brewers from getting through the National League and getting to a World Series. The Brewers are going to have to play, probably when it comes to the postseason, near perfect baseball and maybe get a little bit of luck. Don't want to make that sound like they're an awful team, but we know the weaknesses of this team. So they might have to play a little extra harder than some of these other teams. Might have to be a little bit more aggressive than some of these other teams. And we've seen that a few times this year where the Brewers, they'll be a little bit more aggressive. Jake Bauers was that guy just last week. Right? Stretching that one, was it, what was the game? Was it, blank it up, but stretch that one hit into a double, just sliding in there, and then, it was the Mariners. The first game against the Mariners. Stretching a hit into a double, and then getting waived to go home, and, Cal Raleigh dropping the ball after Bauers kind of ran into him in that. But, I mean, there you go. You got an example of that guy, running his tail off and being super aggressive and stuff. That's the standard I think that Pat Murphy wants with his ball club. And obviously he looked at last night and didn't see that standard being met by Cooper Pratt and maybe some others and decided to send a message. All right, let's take a quick break. Brewers, though, it's another trend. It's a trend that I feel like we talk about every single year, and I'm sure it's a trend that every team has dealt with every single year. But right now, another issue for the Brewers is runners in scoring position. Not able to get those runs across the board. That, to me, was the biggest issue in last night's game. That was the biggest one. You can't be in a situation where you've got a runner at third and a runner at second with nobody out, and you strike out looking, and then, a great catch by Lindor. But you got to get at least one of those across the board, for crying out loud. And then you open up the 10th inning with the top of your order, the top of your lineup, and Hamilton at second, and he doesn't move at all. Not great. We'll talk some more Brewers coming up after these quick words. Your vehicle is more than just a way to get from one place to another. It's how you get to work, take the kids to school, you run some errands, and you get where you need to go. So when an accident or unexpected damage puts your vehicle out of commission, you got to trust the team at Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire. Their experienced professionals are dedicated to quality collision repairs and dependable service, helping make the repair process as smooth as possible. Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire, when you need them, they'll get you back on the road. Hey, speaking of Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire, we've got that Superior Auto Body Team of the Week. You can head to our website, sportstalk1051.com, or you can find the post on the Sports Talk Facebook page and vote for the Team of the Week. Team of the Week. We're going to be doing this throughout the year, but it'll be more than just football once we get really going in here. But shout out to our friend Brandon Berg for coming up with the nominations. We've got Colfax football, who snapped a 26-game losing streak. Fall Creek football with a win over rival Altoona, and then Lake Holcomb football with a 36-0 win over Winter Birchwood. Most points scored in a game since 2023. So again, you can head to our website. We've got the image on the homepage there, so you can click on that. It'll take you to the poll, or find the link on our Sports Talk Facebook page and take a vote. I know Colfax is they're really trying to get the vote out there. Colfax football fans, they're pushing it on social media. They want this. They want this week one Team of the Week. So big thanks for everybody who has voted so far. A couple texts. We got Barb also too saying, yes, that move didn't make the loss. Too many left on base. Shouldn't have came down to that run. Another texter, Brandon G, says, I watched the hit. Looked like a jab shot. Pratt wasn't sure where the ball was when he did start running, so hard to say that he should have been. Hard to say it should have been a double. What's concerning to me is the Brewers running game, as they aren't doing it, and how they are not putting the ball in play with runners in scoring position. They need to do something different, and I initially thought that's why Hamilton came in to swipe a bag. Mike says, every youth coach should show their kids this situation and how everyone involved handled it. Great teaching tool, and everyone will become better from this. Honestly, Mike, that was kind of one of the first things I thought of, too. It's like every first base coach, every youth league coach, it's like the main thing we tell those kids, right? Don't watch the ball, hustle out of the box, run through it. Yeah, that's honestly one of the very first things I thought of, too, is like, oh, that's like every youth baseball coach's almost dream scenario teaching tool was that play. But, runners in scoring position it's not been great for the Brewers here as of late. 4 for 26 in their last 2 games. Yeah. Yikes. That is something that cannot happen in the postseason for sure. There's no way the Brewers are going to win in the postseason if they continue to put up numbers like that. Pitching did their thing last night. Starting pitching, bullpen, they kept the Brewers in the game. They did it. They did their job, and they did their job well. You cannot put up numbers like they did last night with runners in scoring position when they had plenty of opportunities to take that lead, to retake that lead, to get the job done. 2 for 14 last night. Especially for a team that relies on small ball or doesn't hit home runs, however you want to phrase it. That is unacceptable. And that is something that this ball club cannot do in the postseason. Just they can't get away with it. You're putting so much pressure on that pitching, and a tip of the cap, hat tip to the pitching, because more times than not this year, they've held up their end of the bargain. The offense has to be better in those situations. Offensive numbers, on base, average, runs, Brewers, they're one of the best. But again, it's almost like when you get to the postseason, what we were saying a little bit earlier, you might have to be a little bit more perfect. You might have to do just a little bit more. You might have to be a little bit more aggressive. That's just the name of the game, because that's the team the Brewers have. They're not going to have somebody who can, a couple batters in that lineup that could change the game with the swing of a bat. Talking about the home run ball, talking about the deep ball. It's not going to happen. So they're going to have to do all the little things right. And almost, I hate to say it, but almost have to be perfect with those little things too. Dustin May gets the start tonight for the Brew Crew, and he is looking for a bounce-back game from his last performance. Can he get it done tonight for the Brewers? That's what the Crew's hoping for. That's what we're all hoping for here, too. So Dustin May getting the start for the Brewers. Robert, I almost want to say Robert Stack, Unsolved Mysteries. Robert Stock getting the start here for the Mets. It'll just be his 5th start this season. 4 games started, 0-2 with a 5.40 ERA. His last 2 games, though, coming off of a couple of no decisions. The 19th, he went up against the Padres, 4 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 6 Ks. Back on the 14th against the Nationals, 4 1/3, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks. Back on the 8th against Pittsburgh in a loss, 3 innings, 9 hits, 8 earned runs, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. All right, the pitcher who walks. He's been walking some dudes here as of late. You got a Brewers order, a Brewers lineup that is, more times than not, pretty patient at the plate. Let's see that on display. I mean, his first start of the year, Miami, it was a loss, but he was solid in that game. 5-0, 1 earned run, gave up a solo shot, 4 strikes, no walks. But since then, a little bit of some command issues. The flip side, you've got Dustin May, and you got batters with some experience going up against him, probably a couple games worth. Lindor, 5 career at-bats, does have a home run against him, but just 200. I think for me now, Dustin May, after the command issues that we saw against the Mariners back on the 19th, bounce back from it. Here we go, bounce back from it. Let's see the Dustin May that we saw against the Padres. Let's see the Dustin May that we saw against the Pirates. Should be pretty fresh. I mean, just a couple innings thrown in that Mariners game, so bounce back. Go out there. Set the tone early. But offensively, for crying out loud, let's give him some run support, okay? Let's go out there and let's put up a cricket number right away. I fully expect the Brewers tonight to be extra dialed in, extra focused, maybe even a little bit more pep in their step, if you will. Really tuned in for tonight's game and attempting to do all the small things right. That's the expectation I have for this ball club for tonight. Will they do it? Will they be able to accomplish that? Well, we'll find out. First pitch, 6:10. Coverage will begin on your radio dials, 105.1 FM and 790 AM, about 35 minutes prior. All right, coming up in just a little bit, we'll talk some Pack as we get set for joint practice with the Cardinals today. Training camp essentially ends today, too. It's the final public practice, and then we've got the final preseason game on Friday. So this is a day because we're not going to see a lot of the starters, like some of the main starters on Friday. So good work for Jordan Love for this offense. You know, talk about bounce-back performances. Maybe the offense looking to bounce back because the defense has kind of been kicking their butt here as of late, or at least in the last practice between the two ball clubs. So I'm sure the Packers are looking forward to maybe hitting somebody else besides their own teammates. But we'll talk some green and gold, and I mean, I'm curious to hear from two versions of Packers fans here. One, maybe who has never been to a Lambeau Field or to a Packers game. With some of the numbers that have come out, the Packers average ticket price for this year is top 5 most expensive in the league. When you hear that, it's a bucket list. The Packers have a sign up at Lambeau Field that says today is somebody's bucket list. Is it getting priced out for you? And the other part is for the people who are like the regulars that go and want to go every year. Or are you at the point like, man, I can't. I don't know. Or is it Green Bay and you just gobble that stuff up? So, football talk coming up here a little bit later on. Don't forget, it is a What If Wednesday. Give me some fun what if so I can throw out to the rest of the class. And then, what are we doing here? What's a sports story? What's a sports thing where you'd be like, what are we doing here? Probably the college stuff. That'd be a really good example. All right, we got to take a quick break, but we'll be back after these few words. Looking for your next great night out? Well, you need to make it the VFW Post at 305 in Eau Claire with some live music, some exciting events happening throughout the month, great food, cold beverages, and a fun, welcoming atmosphere. Hey, there's always a reason to stop by, whether you're meeting up with friends or you're looking for something fun to do. The VFW Post 305 has something for everyone. Make sure you're following the VFW Post 305 on Facebook to stay up to date on all their latest events and entertainment. That's the VFW Post 305, located 1300 Star Avenue in Eau Claire. You know, Surveyor, I was going to talk about it a little bit. Here's the thing. He says, DK, I don't know if you talked about it yet, but isn't it a coincidence that Josh Sweat was cleared and taken off the PUP list on Monday just 2 days before joint practice with one team that Sweat wanted to be traded to? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it seems like the Ducks are lining up. I learned from last year with Micah, never say never. I don't see that happening. I mean, there's Joey Porter Jr. stuff out there. There's all this. I think it's, for me, it's a little conspiracy theory, sort of thing. And the thing is, so this year his cap hit is fairly reasonable if you look at it. He's $16.4 million cap hit. After that, then it explodes. So there is a potential out. I mean, if you look at it, what would be his dead cap hit? You're taking on a dead cap hit. Okay, you're about $16.5 million. Never say never. I don't know if that has a whole lot to do with, him being taken off the PUP list and now it's going up against Green Bay here. I struggle to see that because the other part of this here thing is if we are looking at it from a contract thing. All right. You got to sign Tucker Kraft, which they're going to do this year. They're going to extend him. But you seriously have to consider now contracts for after this year. You're going to have to figure out contracts for a boatload of players. If Jordan Morgan plays incredibly well, you're going to have to sign him. Evan Williams, if he continues to play incredibly well, you're going to have to sign him. Edrin Cooper, if he plays incredibly well, you're going to have to sign him. And Lucas Van Ness, if he plays incredibly well this year, they're probably going to have to sign him too. That's a lot of pay raises to put on there. Obviously, Goody and Russ Ball are a lot smarter when it comes to the cap than I am. And when it comes to that, I don't know. I feel like Arizona would have to eat up a lot of that contract, and we'll see how much they're willing to do so. But there's a definite connection. Jonathan Gannon, Sweat, not only with his time with the Cardinals, but with Philly. So there's no doubt about it. I wouldn't put it at a 0% chance of happening. So, but we'll talk some more Green and Gold coming up in the next hour here as we get set for joint practice between the Packers and Cardinals. So we got a couple minutes left to the top of the hour. Good morning, Morgs.
How's it going, Casper?
I'm okay. How are you?
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, like if you had to give yourself a star rating, 1 to 5.
About a 3. I could use a pumpkin spice iced coffee right now.
No, you could maybe in like 3 weeks.
No. I need one now.
Are you one of those crazy people then where you walk into the stores and see the Christmas stuff trickling in that you're like, yeah, because it's way too soon, man.
It's too soon for that right now.
Okay.
Right now.
What about Halloween?
Halloween's not too soon right now, no.
Ready to jump in? Yeah. Have you noticed we've started accelerating everything, though? Oh, yeah. The timelines are being pushed up. It goes like 4th of July, Halloween. It used to be...
After 4th of July, I was already back to school.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And I swear...
And that's a holiday now?
It used to be Thanksgiving, then Christmas full on. Now it's Halloween miss. it's a mashup of Halloween and Christmas at the same time. It's nuts.
It's like the Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's just the nightmare right now.
Hey,
Wild Card Wednesday, you're not getting off the hook. You got to pick a number between 1 and 30, and then we're going to have you answer whatever comes up.
We'll go 26.
A belief that you hold that most people might disagree with. Like, I have thick crust pizzas better than thin.
Oh, that is so awful.
I knew we could get him to
That
grunt.
is so awful.
Except it's correct.
No, it's not. And we've gone through this before, and you are in the minority.
So this is about you. What's a belief that you have that other people might not agree with?
I'll just say, I mean, there's probably a lot of them. Rocky 2 is the best Rocky movie in the franchise.
Here's another thing. Like, I'm fine with going down the laundry list of unpopular opinions. I don't enjoy baths. You know, everyone's like, take a bath. That'll help you relax. I'm like, ew.
I'm 40. I don't take baths
You're just
anymore.
sitting in your own, marinating in your own filth, and then your fingers get all pruny, and like, there's nothing about
It's
baths
disgusting.
that I like.
No.
Where do you fall on naps?
I don't like them, but I have to take them.
So you're forced to take naps.
Yeah.
But like a toddler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Social media. We're going to talk about an influencer or celebrity that you think is overrated. Go.
Everybody that's on YouTube that's got like millions of followers in these big houses that my kid watches.
Because then they think that's reality.
Yes.
Yes.
Like you're doing stupid crap and you're getting paid a boatload of money for doing what?
Unwrapping something?
Yeah.
Unboxing?
Yeah.
I don't understand it either.
No.
All right. So we're going to ask you the next one. The last time something scared you, besides pumpkin spice latte starting now.
Pumpkin spice latte. I could really go for one right now.
All right, guys, I'm going to pull back the curtain here in the studio with us today. Casper has a little whiteboard that says pumpkin spice is back.
Yeah.
It's like a rally cry.
I know. What was the question again?
The last thing that scared you.
The last thing that scared me.
Did you watch any Unsolved Mysteries recently? Because that usually scares the crap out of you.
I started to watch a movie, but then I fell